ICDP is about building networks of people in their communities.
Successful democracies need jobs, they need businesses, they need connection. ICDP promotes them and promotes the people who lead them.
Democracy and development need the active participation of lots of people in the community. And it's people who aren't necessarily connected to government, but they're people who are active in business, they're entrepreneurs, and getting them involved just makes for more vibrant communities, more active communities, better democracy.
It drew together the best of Australia and the best of the Pacific. And it was a program that actually listened to what the Pacific wanted and needed in a space that was pretty much empty.
As we know, Pacific Island countries are young democracies. Many of us having our independence around the 70s. So it's a very much a welcome relationship with Australia, who is perhaps older democracy. And I think the values that we share is one that needs to be nurtured and promoted.
It's extremely important that it be understood that the ICDP supports the South Pacific nations, but the South Pacific nations reflect back, not patronisingly handing our wisdom to the South Pacific, but in fact receiving the wisdom of the South Pacific back into Australia.
The amazing thing about Pacific Connect is the way in which it gets people into the room to address a challenge. People who may not know each other before they started, some from the Pacific, some from Australia. And every time I've seen that happen, no matter what the topic, sparks fly, connections are made, problems are addressed, and solutions are found.
A close and intimate link between people who have unique and rare skills, both in Australia and in the Pacific, and it's about connecting them.
A number of ICD projects have been about building networks, building opportunities to be able to market products, whether they be rural products or art or music, any of these things, to bring them to market.
The really special thing about ICDP and the Pacific Connect program is the way in which it brings voices that are maybe less often heard. They have a lot to offer to the big decisions that are being made around the region.
Support for civil society, which has at its core not taking political sides, but in fact building and equipping people in the South Pacific with the tools that they need to lead and develop their own countries, is a very important ambition.
I think it's just so important that democracy is upheld and promoted. And I think this is where ICDP comes in. And I think it's through the people-to-people connections that we can really see the value of democracy in Pacific Island countries.
If you strengthen communities within their own islands or states, then they will be better able to contribute to ensure that the values that we have about one person, one vote, about representative democracy, about people having a voice through the ballot box will be enhanced.
Relatively small amounts of money can make a real difference when they're invested at the local level to develop new products, new industries, new enterprises. And ICDP, with its strategic investments and by building networks, can make a real difference in these communities.
Because of its network, because of its connections, because of its brokering style, and because it brings people together in an unthreatening environment.
What ICDP has really been able to do is bring people together, to build networks, to share, develop bridges between Australia and the Pacific. If ICDP didn't exist, those networks would wither, and that would be a real tragedy.
We lose more viable connections between Australia and the Pacific, which is a great shame, and we also lose the scope to promote growth and jobs in the Pacific in unique ways.
No Pacific Connect program, no ICDP. You lose the intimacy of bringing together people, not big programs, but people. And at the end of the day, that's been the source of our strength. and will be the source of our longevity, because those relationships are going to continue.
I actually think that what Pacific Connect has created is unstoppable. It's not something that is going to be reliant on a particular pot of funding. It's the people who make it possible. And I can see, and I saw at the Ideas Exchange, people are going to keep being connected and keep coming up with ideas. So we're not going to lose it. Don't let anyone tell you we're going to lose those wonderful connections.